What happens when a gifted child who wins a scholarship to Johns Hopkins University and takes college-level courses there while in high school meets up later on with a 12-year-old pacer? Well, we'll show you what happens as Howard Oil called the action of that meeting last week at Monticello Raceway in New York.
Track with the lead. Here's Overstrength down the center of the track now to take command, and it's Overstrength in front, draws away from the field. It's going to be Overstrength in front. Never leave Pete up for the place.
Overstrength is the winner, and that leads to another question. Question we probably get asked more than any other is, how do you get into harness racing? How do you become a trainer or a driver? And the answer that we give virtually all the time is start as a groom, because there are not any other real shortcuts. But there are other ways to get into harness racing. And the young lady who is with me right now found one of them. Get yourself a degree in molecular biology, which is what Kathy Sissy Greisman did. And tell us a little bit about your background and how you got from there to here. Sissy, incidentally, is a trainer, full-time trainer at Monticello Raceway in New York.
Well, I worked with harness horses after high school as a groom.
Where was high school, first of all?
In Elkridge, Maryland,
That's
where
horse
I grew
country.
up. Yes, it is, and I grew up with horses, with riding horses. And I went to work for Richard Parcells after high school for about a year and a half, and I didn't really enjoy grooming that much. I mean, you pack feet and you do up legs and you do what you're told, basically. And then I decided to go to college.
You do learn a lot about horses, though.
Yes, you do, but you're doing what somebody else is telling you to do. And I got my degree in biology. I thought I wanted to go to veterinarian school, and I studied an awful lot, and I found out that when I went back to the horses and started training on my own, that the freedom is what I really love.
What did Mom and Dad say, who had just sent you through the University of Maryland?
Well, they're still glad that I got my education. They feel it's something no one can ever take away from you, and I may use it yet one day. I may go back to school, but I think that they have misgivings about me being at a racetrack on my own.
Do you have brothers and sisters?
Yes, there's four others.
Besides yourself?
Right, nobody else is into, no.
Horse business. When you got into the horse business, you're now training. How many horses do you have?
Right now I have 4 that I'm training. 3 are racing.
Do you find that any of your background, obviously intelligence has never hurt anyone doing anything in any field, but does any of your background, chemistry, biology, anything benefit you at all with the horses in any way?
Well, I have fun talking with the vets.
Do they have fun listening to you, however?
Well, yeah, they tell me that it's things that they haven't thought about since they were in school, some of the mechanisms I ask them about. A lot of people just say inject, inject, and they don't understand why that the veterinarian's doing it. And I think that it's important for a harness trainer to understand why, and maybe it may be best in the short term, but in the long term it may be something that's going to harm the horse.
Aside from your educational background, which of course is highly unusual, how about the idea of women and horses? I've always had a theory, rightly or wrongly, that there is a certain rapport between young ladies and horses that has a special affinity, and that I think helps. I know it helps in my own mind in grooming. I don't know about training, but I would think it would hold there.
Well, I certainly feel them towards my horses. But I've seen men that are that way also. Probably more women, but I do see quite a few men that get along real well with the horses and treat them almost like friends rather than a business type. And I think the horses respond. My horses are racing very well for me, and I ride them also. I swim them in the pond up there. I do things with them other than just jogging them and training them all the time, because these animals get bored. They certainly get bored doing the same thing. I
was reading a book just the other day from 100 years ago in which the trainer was saying the identical thing. He was recommending that a change of scenery for a horse working out is one of the best possible things, and a century later you're saying the same.
I agree entirely. I think that a lot of people say, well, he's not racing well because he's sour, and of course a horse that stands in a stall 20 hours a day or 22 hours a day is going to be bored and unhappy, and how's he going to race well?
How do your horses respond to being ridden?
Very well. I have a 14-year-old that he's going to have to retire this year. He won 17 races last year. I ride him probably twice, 3 times a week, and I swim him also, and I figure that way I'll be able to get a good home for him, and he'll be happier, and he wins a lot of races.
And what are the other 3 beside the 14-year-old?
Well, the other one is a 9-year-old that was a claiming pacer of the year last year, and I have a 12-year-old, so he's going to have to retire soon too.
Well, obviously, you are dealing with horses that have had a little wear and tear,
Yes.
and obviously somewhere along the road they've had a few aches and pains.
Right.
That gives you a full range of experience in taking care of all those ailments.
Right, but I like the older horses. I feel that they have the class. When they're out on the racetrack, they have an advantage because they've been doing it for so many years. And most of the old horses I've found really like people too.
Any chauvinism? Have you run into any prejudices on the racetrack?
None whatsoever.
Fully.
Or that I'm aware of. Probably there is some, but I think most people, it seems to me, wish me luck being on my own.
Any aspirations to drive?
Yes, I have my qualifying license. I've had 5 drives, and my 14-year-old, as a matter of fact, I'd like to qualify him free-legged as soon as I can. He just got a quarter crack, so it might be 2 weeks. Everybody says, why at 14 do you want to change him now? But I think he'll be better that way. So what? And
an educational background leading to pioneering in horses. You want to know how to get in? Get your degree in molecular biology like Sissy Greisman did. We wish you good luck with your 4 present horses and all the ones you have in the future.
thank you.
And we'll be back to field your questions and the answers to them.